Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Good afternoon. Today is the 22nd of March and this is part 8 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2025 Practical Classic Car and Restoration Show at the NEC at Birmingham. We're in Hall 5. This is where we're going to remain for the majority of the rest of the time here because we've done 3A and 4, the only other halls at this show. So we've got the Ford Racing Puma stand here. The engine in these was a bit different from the standard 1.7s. It's a bit more power, about 153 horsepower, and they were all made in this particular colour. I wonder if it actually has the power output on the engine. Normally 1.7s do. I'm just seeing the other one. This has having the coolant reservoir replaced here, but you can see it is different. Variable cam timing, and there is the limited edition numbering of this particular car. I think they were made between like 2000 and 2001, something like that. Yeah, there we go. Now normally on a pure engine there's a little sticker just kind of on the left hand side there that tells you the power up, but obviously on a racing Puma that's not even necessary. Because it's based on the same chassis as a Mark 4 and Mark 5 Fiesta, you can do interesting things. So this would have started life as a Ford Courier, which is Fiesta based, but because the front end's so similar and you can just drop it on like that, obviously you'd have to make some modifications to the car, but you can make it like that. It's pretty good. More Ford action here. The Capri 280 group. This one is registered in presumably sort of 87, 88 on an E. I mean, it wouldn't have been announced in March 1986. It would have been 87, it would have been 86 because the Capri finished production in 86, so I presume that's what it meant. D-plate one. I really like these Brooklands Capris. They weren't very popular back in the day. I mean, someone would much rather have a Sierra Cosworth or maybe an Escort RS Turbo instead of these. So the last one of these registered in 1989. They took a while to sell out, but they're very valuable now, and these ones are in great condition. Have some more Ford action, but we're in a Ford corner clearly here. There we go, some commercial vehicles, a very nice Transit. This probably was built down in Southampton, a place called Swayfling, which is just next to the N27. Unfortunately, that factory closed in 2013 when the Mark 7 Transit was discontinued and production moved to Turkey. But yeah, this probably was built there. Big long nose identifies certain types of engines that these had, which we will move on from. That is a 77. This is a Mark II. It's quite a late Mark II actually. It's still sort of based on a Mark I ostensibly. But he's finished I think in 1986. This has got a 1.6 petrol engine. It wouldn't be fast for 64 horsepower, my gosh. It's in very nice condition though. Look at this. Really basic, like nothing in here that you don't need. I mean, I'm surprised you've even got a radio in here. Only a 4-speed gearbox, no rev counter. And stocks, I think they're offering like a Mark II Escort or something, if I remember correctly. We've got a Ford Transit Custom here, 1972 dual-mobile camper, only 60 horsepower. 60 horsepower to haul this entire thing. That is insane. I'm surprised, you know, more modern vans come with a bit more power than that. But that is extraordinary. Look at the sort of attention to detail someone's actually gone to make it look like this. Wonderful. Midlands Mini Club. We've done the Midlands 7 Club and now Midlands Mini Club. There is Sir Alex Sagonis there. Needs you. So we've got a Clubman estate here, quite a late one, 79 to 80. 80 was the last year for the Clubman. They were sort of replaced by the Metro. It's typical kind of, you know, corrosion on there. That would be sorted at some point. Like the Forth Bridge, looking after a classic Mini in that respect. Then we've got a 90s Cooper here. Let's see what actually tells us what year this is. Yeah, it's a 1996. So the plates, the personal plate on this, being Mark 7. This one, this is the last. Sorry, it's Mark 6. It's because of the wheel and the indicators are identified like that. Another one of these Mini Clubman Estates. This looks very correct actually. So the Million, I think the name of this colour is. It's 79-80 registration. That looks rather nice views. Let's go on to the. This is the Y register stand actually, and here is one of the original R50 Mini press cars. YOBL they were. Only the sort of very first dealer supplied cars and the press cars were on Y plates. They're still not they're that expensive really, they're still quite affordable things. Don't know what Jeremy Clarkson's doing here. Go on to the R53 Cooper S here. I've driven one of those a number of years ago now. It's good fun. And then the 04 Cabrios, which are the sort of early ones of this shape. R52s these are called. 2002 Cooper S, an early one, and then again 04 Cabrio. What name this colour is? Oh, hello, Mario. Hot orange. It's appropriate, isn't it? Should try a mini convertible at some stage in my life here, so it might be fun. Right, more mini action here. And then a bit of a sort of interesting sort of modified example here. A 70s one. Yes, it is on a V, so 79 to 80, and now it looks very different. Another R53 Cooper S with some different wheels on it. And another one here. Interesting interior on this. Not the biggest boots in the world, but too bad for the size of the car. Right, time for some Citroen action, viewers. Wow, that's a very late day S. Does it actually have any information on here? No, it's not for this particular car. 74, 75 on an N. Production finished in 75, as that information sheet says. So a very late car. I was very privileged to drive a right-hand drive DS19 from 64 last year. I don't see too many of those actually. As you can see, it's very, very easy to take the wings off and to play with the suspension and stuff like that if you want to. And next we've got this. This is a GSA, and it's an estate. This one will be sort of 81, 82 on an X. Let's have a look at the back and see what specification it is. Again, left-hand drive. Sitting down on the suspension there, this is a GSA Club. And then an XM with a V6 engine. Yes, please, viewers, we like these sort of things very much. Yeah, that's going to take some work to put that together by the end of tomorrow, isn't it? AMI seats from 1964. Wow. The AMI seats has this incredible front end, and then the back is even crazier. The only right-hand drive saloon in the UK. What if it was built in Slough? Because they had a factory in Slough until 65. It was on the trading estate where Mars is based. Look at that. I don't know why they decided they wanted the cars to look like that, but they did. Fantastic, isn't it? See if it says the information sheet where it was made. Irene, this one is called. Irene ordered a car in La Rochelle. Oh, right, okay, so she needed a right-hand drive car, even though they drove on the left in France. Isn't that fantastic? Another Ami here, a bit of a later Ami. Then racy looking 2CV here. CV racing car. It was a Diane. Let's go and look at the Diane viewers. We won't fall over anything here. There's a chassis. You put a Lomax body on that or whatever you want, of course. Yeah, Diane. It's a late one actually, 79 to 80. They finished about 1983. Then Nakadian. So we're made a little bit longer than that. Yeah, excellent. Right, we'll now move on to the next stand. Right, viewers. Now, Simon from Lot 76 Cars has been in here. He's obviously the co-owner I have of my 1993 Audi V8, which is currently at Mr. Coleman's house, waiting to have the cam belt done and thing, which is why it's not anywhere around here. I haven't got any V8s on the stand today. They are exceptionally rare cars. So I'll have a look at the other things I've got here. How about this Quattro? No, it's not a Quattro. It's a coupe Quattro. We haven't got the wide body on this for a start. This is a 1986. They're quite expensive. This has still got a 5-cylinder engine. It looks, well, it looks great. Absolutely great. I mean, trying to work on the engine is a little bit of a problem, as you can see in there. Not the easiest. Cam belt's right on the front there. But fabulous. Lovely colour. We always say Simon and I, but at the time the V8 was made and before that, Audi were a bit like Saab. They were owned by a big parent company, but they kind of did their own thing. So they had certain Volkswagen parts in them, but all of it was just bespoke Audi, which means actually sometimes the parts are a bit hard to find. I like this, let's get this right, C200 CS. It's a late one of these. The C3 came in 1982. It looks very, very 70s, doesn't it, inside? It's a nice car, isn't it? December 81, this one. Yeah, there's the 200 van to the right hand side there. Rolling restoration. Doesn't look like a restoration at all. It looks immaculate to me. Then we've got a 90s Audi 80. This is a facelift one. They call it the B4, this particular generation. Very nice wheels on this. Some bits are like the dash and things, it's similar to a V8 actually on one of these. This is a 2-litre from the same dealership our Audi V8's from, which is Smith Knight Fay up in Cheshire. I've actually got Smith Knight Fay plates still on them, still on the V8, which just confirms to me we do have the original registrations on there. Although Audi UK we think owned our V8 originally, also on an L like this. And then we have the previous generation Audi 80 here. This is a B3. Mr. Charles from Grand Theft Auto, who's around here somewhere, he owns one of these, and I have actually seen it. Unfortunately, that information sheet doesn't particularly tell me about the car, but I'll look at the back and we'll see what specification this one is. There's a with a badge on it. Of course, Sean meets Catalysator Technique, already with catalytic converter technology, and the same stalks as well as a V8. Right, let's move on to the next stand, which is Fiat X19 Owners Club. A very late one, this, probably an 88 or an 89, but this is a grand finale, isn't it? Just right at the end. By this stage, they were just badged as a Bertone rather than a Fiat. There's the engine of 1.5 by the stage. Quite high specification. You've got electric windows and things here, and a 5-speed gearbox. Very long-lived design. All the way back to 1972 when these came out.
You wouldn't want to like.
Here's an earlier car here. There's information sheets. We'll look at that. 1987. This one is actually. Why does the one on the right look so different? If they're so similar in age, I don't quite understand that. Yes. Aftermarket like Star Wars and a fiberglass engine cover. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Bumper on this is different as well. Yeah, it's a grand finale, you can see. Most of bumpers, perhaps, is what sets it apart. Makes it look a bit earlier than actually it is, so it should look a bit more like this one. Another Bertone. This interior, that's extraordinary, isn't it? I forget one of these actually, so I don't know if that will happen for years, but I'd like to see. Let's have some more Audi action, shall we? Ooh, an early 4Quattro. 81, 82 on an X. See, compared with the red coupe, this does have a wider body on it. Engine's very similar in terms of configuration. This was an Audi UK demonstrator. Interesting. And then when they're sort of up and back together, they look a bit more like this. Do we have any information about this particular car, or is this just it's 83, this one? Right-hand drive cars appeared about that same time, didn't they, about 1983. You can see this 82 car, which is obviously supplied originally by Audi UK, it's got left-hand drive. And this is a right-hand drive, so it's an early right-hand drive one. Very nice. Very 80s colour and a big turbo badge on the steering wheel. You actually see that probably. Yes, there we are. Excellent. Next stand viewers. Excellent. The XR4 register. I always forget with the four-wheel drive Sierras, they made them quite late. This is a J-Reg one, so 91, 92. Nice interior on this. Full complement of electric windows and things. Fantastic. Looks like a Cologne V6 in there, probably a 2.9. This one is 4-cylinder, 125 horsepower, the Ford twin cam engine. There's a standard looking one. Yeah, this is from 1990 or 91, XR 4x4. I do like Sierras to use. I had a go in one last year. It was only 87, which amazing it actually survived. Because 87 was really not the best era for Sierras, because the rust really bad. So XR Owners Club here. Very, very nice. XR3i Mark 5A rather than the B. Facelift curd, just after this car was made, as far as I remember. Yeah, very nice, immaculate. Then something a bit older, an XR4i with the bizarre side window and spoiler treatment. I think these had the 2.8 Cologne V6 in them with Type 9 5-speed gearbox. 83, 84 on an A. The Sierra is possibly the car with which shows the most differentiation of any car I've ever seen pre-facelift. So compare this, for example, to a base model 1.3. They don't even have the same dash, they don't have the same mirrors, they don't have the same front end, they don't have the same side window treatment. Amazing. Ford would just sell you a car whoever you were, basically, just try to tailor the thing for you. Mark 5 Cabrio with the, what you call the Zeta, but you know, the Zetec R engine retrospective, about 130 PS, and electronic fuel injection. Those are, I think, are those Cosworth wheels? And then that's, I think, of some Sierra Cosworth, that steering wheel. Looks good. I forget the name of this sort of grey colour. Then we go for this immaculate Mark 1 Fiesta XR2. Look at that, pepper pot wheels, immaculate underside. Reminds me of the entire Ford hall that's at the November show at the NEC. You can see cars like this all the way through. EV, of course, at the time was a Essex plate. A lot of the press Fords were on EV plates, like the Jupiter Red Mark II Granada Professionals FEV 24T, and then a Sierra XR8. This will be a South African car with an enormous 4-litre V8. We didn't get that over here. We also, again, didn't get this front end, or the fact this car's a bit wider than standard. Obviously been imported personally at some point. 83, 84, like the XR4i. And then a later Sierra, sort of very late one actually, 91, 92 on a J. I think production finished something like December 92. Headlight wiper action. Very nice colour, very sort of demure wheels on this, considering actually this is quite a fast car. I wonder if it's just a 2-litre one. I think we missed this Tom at Morena yesterday because we were so excited about talking to Mr. Charles from Grand Theft Auto, who's not here, but we'll have a look at it. Again, 3-seater. I don't think I've ever seen a right-hand drive one of these. I know the Bagheera had a very small number of right-hand drive ones, which is the predecessor to the Morena. This one though is left-hand drive like most ones I've seen. Yeah, you sit on the left, you've got 2 passenger seats. I can't remember what these rear lights are off. Maybe they're unique to the Morena, I can't remember. 81, 82 on an X like the one that's in the auction. I think we'll just have a look at this other Sierra here whilst we're here. Ford Sierra 2-litre GT injection. I've never really heard of a 2-litre injection Sierra GT. Interesting. Yeah. Practical in the back. The view is another Saab 900 Turbo with the lovely 3-spoke alloy wheels. 85-86 plate. We really like these, don't we, viewers? Although we wish we had this, I don't know, like an SE or something like that with a beige leather interior. It would be better, wouldn't it? That would do nicely. Classic Car Weekly magazine has got a stand here. So we've got a Morris Mini Cooper S from 1964. I bet that's worth a lot of money. Oh right, it's not a real Cooper S. It's a 986 A series, a bit later. I'm tempted to ditch the Cooper S badges. It would get a bit less confusing if you did that. We've got the Italian job style light bar in front of there. And we got a 79 midget 1500. 79 was the last production year for the midget, although some were sold in 1980 of course. That is interesting. Right, engine needs to go in, yeah. And then we've got a Mark II facelift Polo. It's actually very similar on the plate to this as to the Polo G40 I drove in 2019. It was a coupe. I think it was also K something JMA. It was in 92. I think that coupe was as well. Paint faded because that's just what happens on red cars from the early 90s. This one is not a very high specification, it's not like a G40 like one I drove. Do we even have a 5-speed gearbox in here? We do. The very basic ones of these did not have a 5-speed gearbox. It's the CL, so we've probably got the 1.3 engine in here. They're not very fast, they're like 55 horsepower, I think these. When I was growing up in my family, we had tons of these. My uncle had one, my father had one, childminder had one. They're mainly pre-facelift ones. The facelift occurred in 1990. This will actually have a brake servo in it. The pre-facelift ones do not have a brake servo, and so we're a bit scary to drive. I have driven an 87 and that didn't have a brake servo because they couldn't be able to re-engineer the car for right-hand drive, so they left it out. This will have a brake servo in it. It's a remote one though, so the brakes aren't great. The steering is really heavy in these for some reason. But yeah, there we go. They're something of a sort of darling of the classic car scene now. Obviously for me, I just find them very nostalgic because, you know, when I was a small child, I used to travel an awful lot. What is going on with this modified Rolls-Royce viewers? That is absolutely mad. It might even be a Silver Spur because of the wheelbase, I'm not sure. I've driven a Silver Spur, it was a 91, and it was pretty good. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Let's go to the next stand here as we enjoyed the Alfa Romeo Owners Club stand yesterday. Historic Volkswagen.uk. It's a bit of a contrast here. This is one of these late Beetles. Now, the Beetles no longer made. It's a bit of a shame. I think they stopped in about 2019, or something like that. Got a specification on this one. Oh dear. Let's move on, viewers. Can't talk about that. How about this really early one? That looks remarkably sort of original. Got trafficated, of course. My instinct tells me this is from the 1950s, but I could be wrong, like how about so many things. Really small rim. Oh, 56 it is. Then we've got a Scirocco. This to me looks very much like a Mark 1 Scirocco. Don't know what year it is, it's a 63 plate, but of course that's not accurate for the year of the car. Maybe this information sheet that I should have read first will tell me what it is. So it's an 81 1.8 valve. So quite late actually. The Mark II came in around that time. But the chassis didn't really change. It's still based on the Mark 1 Golf, regardless of whether it's a Mark 1 or a Mark II Scirocco. See the rear end there. Very different to this car that's kind of almost about 10 years later, 90 to 1991 on an H, with some more power and standard, I imagine. But another one of the same sort of age, a bit more standard looking. Well, the wheels I think have been changed. Scirocco Scala. I've never tried a Mark II Scirocco. I really would like to. I've tried a Mark III and I've tried a Corrado, but not a Scirocco. Apart from the Mark III. This would be an early one, a Scirocco GL. Some interesting wheels on there. Obviously, you can fit lots of Golf parts to these because essentially underneath they are a Mark I Golf. Let's go for the Corrados then. That is a very nice one, viewers. Ooh, it's a Corrado Storm with a dark green and a beige leather interior. Very nice, viewers. The one I drove is a purple VR6 manual conversion. This is also a VR6. What year was this one then? It's a 95, so it's a really late one actually. Storm had some more equipment on it standard. So double VR6 action. This one's also VR6 in 1994 in Moonlight Blue. Leather interior was not standard on Corrado VR6s. This one didn't have one. I think it was standard on the Storm model. They actually are, but despite the fact they're a Mark II Golf underneath. But of course, it's a pretty good chassis. These drive nothing like one. They drive really differently, and they drive really, really quite nicely. So, Ford Console Classics and Capris here. This one needs a bit of work. They weren't really the most successful cars Ford UK ever made. They were a bit of a disaster really. They were discontinued after just, I think it was 2 years for the Console Classic and 3 years for the Capri. So there's the Console Classic versus the Capri. They're just expensive to build and the engines weren't very impressive. It was an early version of the old Kent engine. And some strange with a capacity of 1340cc. I wonder if this Capri is a bit different. This is what a Capri looks like when it's done. They are beautiful. They're quite rare because they tend to rust really, really badly. But you're happy to have to go with one of those. It's a GT model, so 1.5 I think. And we've got another Transit here. And then I've got some Corsairs. The Corsairs are very, very overlooked cars. In comparison to a lot of classic Fords for some reason, I don't know why. that 2000 E? Maybe look at the plate on that one. So yeah, it probably is. It's a sort of late one. 68, 69 on a Jeep with the S6 V4, I think it was, based. 64, so this will be pre-V4, this will be with the older engine. It's a deluxe model. And it's just a console Corsair. Very late Corsair, is 1970 only actually on a J. So the V4, yeah, you can see the V4 there. Well, hang on a second. Someone's put something else in there. Yes. It's not a four-cylinder one at all, viewers. That is an S6 V6. We like that, viewers. We like that quite a lot. A one-owner V6 Corsair Special. Right, viewers, I think that's it for this part. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again in the next part for some more incorrect information.